God. I'm sure it is, probably, but I don't have the link out for anybody. You know what? It's yeah, that's good. That's good that it's back. Cool. I'm happy if people are actually here. uh, I really was enjoying that until my internet decided that it needed to stop. And then the other thing is that it doesn't automatically reconnect. It just like stops your whole live stream. So that's annoying. It may happen again. Maybe it won't. This is why we're doing this, is to get a better idea of how this is going to work and what I need to do it in the future. So thank you all for being here if you are here. Oh, man. Hello. All right. Oh, yes. Okay. So I'm happy it's back and that it's working, kind of. Drop framed again. Oh, my lord. So what I've learned from today is that my computer or my internet does not enjoy streaming, but we will carry on and push through. All right. So Grayson Sachin is super exciting. He's got great hands. He's fast. He transitions really well. He plays deep in his lineup, so it's kind of hard to see how much his game would have progressed this year if he was the guy for his team. I like him. He's a little undersized, though. I wouldn't say that he's smart in transition, and he's got a good playmaking mind. Shooting needs a little bit of work, and I don't think he's the best retriever of the puck. And I think with all of those things in mind, he's worth it because of his skill level, but I don't think he's better than the other guys who have a safer projection, I think. Perron is like, it's kind of like Grayson Sachin, but he's a little bit more skilled. He's a little bit smaller as well. And I don't want everything to be about height, but I like Perron a lot. He's just extremely smart. And I don't know. I just have a hard time getting off of, like, I watched Daniil Gushchin for 3 years, and I watched him in the AHL, and I watched him in the OHL and the USHL, and one of the most skilled players I've seen, like, from a pure skill standpoint. And Perron's about the similar size as Gushchin. And Gushchin did well in the AHL this year, but, like, I think there is something to be said about just how far you can get, even if you are super skilled, like Perron, like Gushchin, at being that size. You have to be so good. And he's really good, but I wouldn't risk it higher than 28. Cagnoni, I like a lot. Also a little small for a defenseman. But he doesn't look it, doesn't play it. He occasionally will be a little bit too passive in getting the puck out of the zone. Wait for an option, just kind of sit there and wait. That's my only qualm with him. But he's very skilled, and I like his defending style is like a mix of aggression and patience, and I like him a lot. I think he's one of the better, safer picks for defenders in this class in terms of, I think he plays in the NHL eventually. And his offense is worth it to be a first rounder. Boot, also good. Um, he's a boot. He's about 10 feet tall. There's a lot to be said about Boop. He very skilled. He plays big, but not like he's just bullying everybody with his body. And I think that he should develop that. He will get drafted high because of the Tage Thompson effect in the NHL, and that's not a problem. Just what it is. Stenberg. I watched Stenberg at the J20 level a lot, and I didn't love him. There's games when he like completely disappeared, and I didn't see much other than when he would do a skill play with the puck, and that's it. But showing in the J20 or the U18s this year, he's still like probably the most skilled player out of Sweden besides Carlson, and Dvorsky, but he's not Swedish, and ASP, but he's a defenseman. So second most skilled forward for Sweden. How's that? I like him. He should be a first rounder. And that's kind of like the cutoff of dudes that I think should be first rounders and will be maybe first rounders. And then a bunch of guys that have good projectable qualities that I think just have little bits of flaws or not productive enough to be where they should be. I wonder what this looks like when I actually play a game of hockey on top of it. Let's give it a shot and see what it looks like. Now that we have a total of me and you, Nick H. Let's give it a shot and see what it looks like. Okay. Not awful. It's a little bit slow. Ugh, the encoding is bad. Ugh. Man, I think this whole thing is teaching me I need to buy a better computer. That's probably the answer. Not a current thing, but in a couple of months kind of thing. I think I need to buy a better computer before I can do this. And Will Smith. So, since you're here, Nick, and it's not dropping frames, I generally pick 4 or 5 dudes on either team to watch specifically, just so that I don't lose myself. There's more. Scores immediately. Good steal, great speed. You can see like just how fast Moore is and how much faster than all of his competition is. He's an NHL skater already in terms of how he can move. I pick like 4 or 5 dudes on each team, and then I focus on them almost solely when I scout, so I don't try and get lost with what's happening if the player that I'm trying to scout is not playing, unless they like jump off the ice at the time of what's happening, and then I'll make a note of it of what happened if I need to. Scouting involves like a bunch of players that have already been drafted, a bunch of players that'll never get drafted, and stuff like that. So you gotta like go through the weeds and figure out who you actually want to take a look at. And so you don't want to miss people. Like you don't want to like lose anyone that you could draft later in the rounds, but there's enough people to go back through and find. Kushla's an interesting one. I watched him at some point and I was really impressed with his hands. That's 35 whenever he comes on. 18 is Kumpalainen. I liked him. He's very projectable. His size and his speed. Guzzo. What a name. Salvatore Guzzo. I think you should get drafted on his name alone, right? I'm going to turn off this like lo-fi Lord of the Rings music because I think that's also killing me right now. I don't realize Zebuyum at no point. Zebuyum's very good for next year's draft as well. very choppy, or is it fine? Well, let's see what it looks like on my phone. A little choppy. Very choppy, or is it fine? Yeah, it's pretty choppy. Yeah, it wouldn't not surprise me if Moore had the highest analytical score, whatever they're using that to mean. The guy cannot be stopped in terms of his speed, so he could just carry the puck in at ease because he can't be stopped just because of how quick he is. Leland. Oh man, my computer lags so hard. Here, let's remove this. Remove. Yes. Maybe that'll help. I think 4 is Kiviharu. Ooh. So Kiskinen? Kiskinen has a great shot. Kiskinen and Halttunen are like two Finnish dudes, both gonna get drafted pretty high. Halttunen first, and then Kiskinen later on. And both have great shots. What a pass! Oh my god. Holy shit. If you can see that through this horrible choppiness, watch this pass by fucking Will Smith. Like, this is what Will Smith does. This dude hit somebody from across the ice without even looking at him. Just turning immediately finds him. Jesus. Watch it, watch it. He just hits it all the way across the ice. Fantastic. Who do you want? So do you want the Sharks to take a D with their second pick or go best player available? Best player available. I think I want it to be a D, but I think there's enough Ds in the second range that you can get somebody good. That there should be one faller on draft day that I want them to take. Ryan Fine is fine. Danny Nelson is fine. 2 are lower down USNT DP players that'll get drafted probably, but they're fine. They're fine in their Nelson. That's what they are. How many people do we have? Just me and you still, Nick? Let's see. Probably, right? That's what the problem is once your stream like goes down, it's literally dead. 1 watching. So it's literally me. And you maybe. 2 watching. Okay. People demand quality and win what they view. So that's the thing. It was a good hit. I think 10th Halttunen. Big guy, good shot. There's a lot of like flack about him just being those 2 things though. Big guy, good shot. Constant Hellenius is great. Very good playmaker. He's just a year too young for this draft. So Buyum, Hudson, Hellenius, Kiviharu, all next year discussions, you know. I think if I get a new computer at some point, Nick, I will. I think it's not going to work with my current setup, so we'll give it a shot. We tried. I wish there was a way to pilot these things without having to show all of you, and I guess it could have. but it felt more right to just do it live. But I'm enjoying it. This pass, oh my god. I would also say, yeah, I think they will actually have a nice pick next year too. They're nice high pick, and maybe hopefully the Devils pick will turn into a first, and we'll have 2 firsts or more, depending if we sell off other players. But it's gotta buy into like the full rebuild kind of thing. But it seems to work right now. I wish it was working earlier so we could still have all the people in here, but you know. We're gonna jump ahead here. Don't have to learn about life skills. Like I said, I'm scouting this game just because it's gonna get removed off YouTube soon. So. Matriculate. I said that. Can you guys hear, or Nick, I guess, because you're probably the only one here. Can you hear the sound that's coming from the game, or is it just me? Oh, Ryan Leonard. You could have hit him better there. You can't hear my jokes with the announcers? Oh shit, man. Sometimes it does make sense. There's Perot. Good shot. There's Leonard. Oh man, it's lagging. Whew. Man, yeah, it's not even close. No worries, Nick. Thank you for toying with me, or at least being here while I try the settings out. Eventually, this will work. It just needs some doing, and that's okay. Thanks, man. Better computer comes first. Okay, so this sounds fine. I'm really looking at my own past live stream. I just wished it did not go away. So this. Yeah. All right. Y'all, I'm gonna try this another time. I'm gonna go get some food. And there's no one here, so goodbye.